who has been tracking this very closely. Chris, as I mentioned, we have downgraded now as of the last the last update. So what are we looking at now? Are we still expecting to see those types of impacts that you were considering?
Yeah, this is all part of Erin's plan, is to take a big step back as far as the winds go. So technically it's a strong category 2 now, 110 miles per hour, but that's splitting hairs because already at this point, Caitlin, since it was a category 5, it's already picked up so much water. So literally underneath the hurricane, it picks up this bulge of water, and then that's what the storm surge essentially is. So once that gets a little bit close to the Carolinas, it is going to wash that ashore. The stronger winds still gusting up to 60 miles per hour, not going to make the best time in the Outer Banks. So if you have any plans to go there, there's already some evacuations in sight and have already been planned. So not going to be a good time. And also there's going to be a lot of double red flags along the beach as far south as South Carolina, just because of the impacts from the rip currents and then there's dangerous surf.
Yeah, definitely want to make sure that you are following those if your plans are to go to the coast. What else can you tell us about the track?
I can say that over the last 24 hours, the one thing that has changed is it's a gentle push further off towards the west. And Hurricane Erin, for the most recent advisory at 8 o'clock, which, by the way, every 3 hours we're going to have an update. But the one that's most important is usually how the cone is updated. And that's exactly what we've seen here. I haven't really seen a big shift in this compared to the one that was around 2 o'clock. But then your 8 a.m. advisory shows that likely we're going to be hovering around this range, about 110 to 150 mile per hour sustained winds. That has it on the cusp of either Cat 1 to a Cat 2. But look at this general curve. It literally is right in the middle of Bermuda and the Carolinas. The only difference here is it's just a little bit close to the Carolinas compared to the last couple of days for the track was showing. That's why I just think that we have a slightly higher chance for some impacts there. For our tropical alerts, we have a tropical storm watch that's going to go into effect, and which will eventually become a tropical storm warning over the next 24 hours. And there's also a tropical storm watch, which will become a warning that goes as far south as Beaufort, South Carolina, Morehead City, up through Atlantic Beach, Hatteras to Kill Devil Hills, Nags Head also included with that. And the northeastern part of the Carolinas, such as the Corolla area, not as much impacted. But it's still going to be a good chance for a storm surge over 3 feet. I think most of the area is going to see anywhere from 1 to 4. But there's going to be a chance of getting up to about maybe even 5 to 6 feet, just depending on how severe this system is. I think this graphic really tells a tale about the impacts of the highest winds compared to just the wind field in general. This is 5 p.m. on Wednesday. You're seeing gusty winds up to about 20 to 30 miles per hour at this point, all the way down from Charleston up through Hatteras. But notice what changes getting to Thursday morning. At that point, still gusty along the beach. Winds are coming from the north and northeast at this point. At this point, you're seeing a lot of water starting to splash onto shore. That's where you're going to have a lot of the localized flooding. So gusts as high as 60 miles per hour, getting up to around lunchtime on Thursday. So it's not going to be a good time to be out in the Outer Banks at that point. Then everything starts to pull away. The tropical storm force gusts start getting out of here by about Thursday night. And as for the Charlotte area, there are very minimal impacts that we're going to see. Maybe you might see some cloud cover associated with that, but I think that's mainly going to be for the Raleigh area. Really what it just allows is another system to roll in. That's going to keep us cloudier with a better chance for rain for your late Thursday heading through Friday, and eventually that cloud cover starts to break more heading through your Saturday. That's what's going to cool us down a little bit, allowing for some cool air to dam up against the mountains. That's why we have highs only around 80 degrees on Friday for back to normal, which by the way is now officially 88 degrees, which we have on the bookends of our 7-day forecast. So there's